So Dianetics gives us the opportunity to examine the mind and to free the mind of those hidden things that are hampering and hindering its proper function. A properly functioning mind will solve all problems. The only thing that is necessary for a human mind to solve a problem is for that mind to confront whatever the problem is. Just look at it. The second that you look at it, the problem begins to dissolve and disappear. That's why we could say that the way of life that we have right now is hellish. We're living in a condition of hell, suffering, death, disease. Why? Because we don't have enough human minds that are actually looking at the problems and causing them to resolve. An aberrated mind looks at a problem and comes up with the wrong solution. So if you have a problem and then you come up with a false solution to the problem, well, the false solution will generate more problems. That's all hell is. It's a life that is surrounded by unresolved problems. That's all hell is. See, what would life be like if you could solve all your problems? See, you think about yourself. How many problems do you have? See, before you actually look at it, you might think it's infinite, endless. I got problems on top of problems. Well, maybe you do. But actually, if you sat down and listed them out, you probably only have about 8 or 9 problems. I mean, maybe. Suppose you had 100. So what? If you actually had a mind that was functioning properly, today you would look at problem number 1 and resolve that. Then tomorrow you would look at problem number 2 and resolve that. You would just go down the list. It doesn't make any difference whether it's 5, 6, 10, 1,000. It doesn't matter how many problems you actually list out. The thing is that you have a technology through Dianetics that you could apply your mind and your attention to each and every one of your problems, and they would begin to dissolve. They would begin to disappear. Now, what would your life be like if you solved all of your problems? See, you would call that heaven, wouldn't you? So this is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told you to do. He said, set yourself in heaven at once, or set yourself in heaven overnight. Yes, sir. Well, how do you do that? Well, you learn Dianetics. That's what you do. Go ahead. Yes, sir. So that's the third part of the combination that unlooses the lion who's in a cage. The fourth one has to do with administration or management. See, you could have supreme wisdom, but if you don't know how to manage it. In other words, after learning Islam, you have to learn to use it. You got it, but you don't know how to use it. So then you don't get the benefit that you're supposed to get out of it. You got it, but you don't know how to use it. You don't know management. You don't know administration. So that's the fourth key. So you got to learn that. So if we look at it like that, supreme wisdom is first. That's a track that you get on. Say you, in the nation, you come in and you get the student enrollment. See, that's enrolling you on the supreme wisdom track. And what we need to do is we need to improve that track so that there is a reliable way that people can proceed down that track and not go past things that they don't understand. So they get it right. So they get the full meaning and purpose and understanding that's locked up in that supreme wisdom teaching. So that's future work that we got to do, is to get that track laid out the way it's supposed to be laid out. It's there, but it just got a whole lot of weeds and stuff that's making it not as clear as it needs to be. Then the second one also needs some work on it, you see, because we have the How to Eat to Live teaching, but we don't practice it too well. That's right. Now, brother, do you have those copies? Where's the brother made the copies? I'm going to pass something out. I'm not going to take the time to go through it completely. But this is the How to Eat to Live game. Yeah, this is the How to Eat to Live game. See, people like games. See, the reason why How to Eat to Live is unpopular, where people claim with their mouth that they practice it. Well, then you watch them, they eating donuts, they eating lunch, doing all kinds of, they don't fast like they're supposed to, they eating candy, they chewing gum, doing all kinds of stuff. See, How to Eat to Live is actually easy. It just only consists of two things. Fasting with the right food. That's all it is. Fasting means 1 meal a day or 1 meal every other day. The only thing that you're allowed to have between meals, according to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, is what? Coffee and water. That's it. He didn't say tea. He didn't say juice. He didn't say mints. He didn't say chewing gum. He didn't say an apple. He said water. He said, but you won't want too much water. Because most of the water in the body is used for digestive purposes. So if you're not eating, what do you need water for? You're not digesting anything. And then you don't have to drink coffee if you don't want to, but if you do, you're allowed to. But that's it. So those are the rules of How to Eat to Live. It's like any other game. You got to learn the rules, right? Yes, otherwise, you're a cheat. That's right. Isn't that right? Yes, sir. You get thrown out of the game if you keep cheating. Nobody wants to play with you if you're a cheat. I ain't playing with you. You cheat. Yes, sir. See, so get the books, learn the rules of How to Eat to Live, then you can play the game. Yes, sir. Now, what do you get if you win this game? Good question. You get life and life more abundantly. You get a chance to live out your mission. What happens if you lose at this game? Then you die, but before you die, you suffer. Your knee bone will start to hurt and keep you up all night long, and you'll get a migraine headache at 2 p.m. every afternoon. And you'll get stomach ulcers, and your vision will fade, and you'll start getting weak, and you'll be in a wheelchair. Yes, sir. And the doctor will have you on prescription drugs, and you'd be taking needle shots of insulin. Then you have a stroke, and then you're in the ICU, and people will feel sorry for you and say nice things about you at your funeral. Yes, sir. But what they should say, here's a fool that had a chance to live and wouldn't take it. So the fact that she's dead or he's dead, they deserve to be dead. Because the prophecy was clear. I am come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Yes, sir. Why does he say might? Because we've got a bunch of fools in the world. That's right, that they will even turn down the offer of life. Right. So here's an easy way to get into that How to Eat to Live track without it being too serious. It's a game. It's fun. You play against yourself. It says up here, flash answer. Give a flash answer to the following questions. What's a flash answer? Yeah, the first thing that comes to your mind. Don't get out a calculator and try to calculate it. Just write your flash answer down in that column under week number 1. Then every week you play against yourself. What you want to do is play against yourself so that your score starts to improve from week to week to week to week to week. Don't worry about what your score is at first. It might not be too good. That's why I don't show it to anybody. They actually think you're doing better than you are. Yes, sir. So don't show it to anybody right away. Wait till you get your score up a little bit. Then it would be all right for you to show somebody what you're doing, and you might inspire them. Now, if you look on the bottom, there's a key. So over 1,000, you're actually living abundantly. You actually have a good chance to live long enough to accomplish your mission in life. You actually will live long enough to do that. If you're next down between $7.50 and $9.99, okay, that's not bad. You're surviving, but just barely. Now, anything below $7.50, see, there's a problem. If you're all the way down from $7.49 to $500, what's that? That's dying slowly. That's where most people are. When I did this at Savior's Day, the average score in the Nation of Islam was 642. It's in that category. Then anything below 500 is you're really killing yourself. You see, so find out what your score is. Don't lie, don't cheat, and just look at what it really is. And it's just like the first time you tried to play basketball. You weren't too good at it, right? But you practiced. The first time you played the piano, you weren't too good at it, but you practiced, right? And the more you practice, the better you got. And then that's how you're going to get your score up, and that's how you're going to live. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad asked two questions. He said, can we survive? And how strong is the foundation? Well, if the average score of the Muslims was 642, well, then what's the answer to that first question? Can we survive? The answer is no. Well, is that acceptable to you? Okay, I didn't think so. It's not acceptable to me. So then we got to get the score up. Well, how do we get the aggregate score of the whole Nation of Islam up into an acceptable range? It means every brother, every sister has to individually strive and work and practice to get their individual score up. That's the only way we get the whole score up. Does that make sense? Yes, sir. Then we have a strong foundation on which to build a new world. Now, the last 2 points. You got to get the Dianetics. See, you got to have Dianetics processing. That's just a given. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan sees the value in that, and you just have to do that. You are a future laborer in the Nation of Islam. You may not think that you are, but you actually are. You are actually the cream that's floating on the top of an entire people. That's why you're here. So whether you understand it now or not, you have a great responsibility. Either now or sometime in the future, you have a great responsibility that goes beyond yourself and it extends to other people. Well, he said that in the future, any laborer in the Nation of Islam has to go clear. You have to be clear. You have to be a Dianetic clear. So then what are you waiting for? Are you clear yet? Or then what are you waiting for? Why are you holding back? Who's holding you back besides yourself? So it's clear which way we have to go. It's clear that we have to be clear. So go for it. Do it. Now, your reactive mind. I said your reactive mind will tell you no. You don't want to do it. You'll come up with excuses as to why you shouldn't do it or why you can't do it. Or the reactive mind of other people that's around you, they will tell you no. Because the reactive mind is trying to do what? It's trying to protect itself. You're getting ready to wipe it out. It said, no, I want to stay here. It's trying to survive too. But you have to be very clear about it. Get behind me, Satan, you could say.